Hi, I'm Joe Dethloff, and I own Breakwater Construction Group. We've been building custom pools here in Northeast Florida for 20 years. I'm going to tell you what a pool costs with real numbers. A breakwater pool starts around $55,000. That's for a small design on a flat lot with no add-ons. Most people, once they've picked a size and a few add-ons, spend somewhere between $70,000 and $90,000 on the pool itself. Some people also want to add a spa or a screen enclosure, and we'll go over those prices as well. By the end of this, you'll be able to build a rough number for your own backyard. Let's be specific about what actually is in that number. Our base price includes a custom gunite pool that's concrete and steel, engineered and built to last for decades. It also includes the equipment, a paver deck around it, your startup chemicals, and a cleaning kit are in there too, so the pool is usable the day we hand it over. Price begins to vary with how big the pool is and how much deck goes around it. Let's look at 3 real examples from our own pricing. A small pool, that's 10 by 20, with about 500 square feet of paver deck, $55,000. A mid-size pool, 14 by 28 in size, with 700 feet of deck, is about $67,000. A larger pool, 16 by 32, with 800 square feet of deck, $75,000. So the pool and the deck by itself, small to large, is $55,000 to $75,000. Where the price increases after this comes from those basic designs, and then you add the options that I'm about to walk through. There are really only a handful of decisions that move your price seriously, and here they are, with prices. Additions of a spa, that's typically $28,000 to $30,000. And that typically means a 7 by 7 spa raised 18 inches, and it has 8 jets, a 400,000 BTU heater, spillover into the pool, a blower, LED light, tile, and the automation system that runs it all. One thing that moves that number is whether the spa sits flush with your deck or is raised up. Raised 18 inches is at the top of that price range, and flush saves you about $3,400. If you see a spa quoted well under this, ask what's missing, because it's usually the heater, the automation, or they've used a lower grade jet. A screen enclosure costs around $20,000 to $30,000 depending on how much area you're covering. And here's something worth knowing. If you want a screen eventually but can't afford it in your budget now, the enclosure sits on a structural footing, and we can put that footing in for you with the pool build, which means you can add the screen in a couple of years without tearing up your deck. And quite often, people want more deck than was included in the preliminary pricing that I mentioned earlier. So if you want to add another 500 square foot of paver decking, budget about $6,000. Upgraded decking, like travertine, marble, or artistic pavers, usually adds between $5,000 and $12,000 to the price. 2 smaller line items, water features, $3,000 to $10,000, depending on whether that's bubblers in a sun shelf or a raised wall with shear descents and fire bowls. Add a heat pump for about $6,500, and that gets you swimming a month earlier and keeps you swimming a month longer. One more thing that moves the number, and it has nothing to do with design. It's about how your yard slopes. If your yard falls off, we may need a retaining wall or a taller footing to hold the deck up. That's real money, and it varies too much for me to give you one standard figure. Let me stack those additions because it's more useful than a list. So a small pool with a screen and a spa is about $105,000, and a mid-sized pool with a spa and a screen is about $125,000. The larger pool with a spa and the screen, around $135,000. Add a heat pump, a larger deck area, upgraded decking, water features on top of any of those, and you're in the $150,000 to $175,000 range. And that's where our bigger ticket projects usually land. One thing worth knowing, a spa is not something you can add later. It's built into the pool structure, and it shares plumbing and the automation system, the electrical wiring, and it goes in when the pool goes in. If you want to own a hot tub down the road, that's a standalone product from somebody else, not a delayed version of this. The screen you can add later, the spa you can't without it costing twice as much. As part of your budgeting, you need to plan for things that aren't included in the pool price. Pulling out the dead sod in your access way and replacing it with new sod, irrigation repair and reconfiguration, and landscaping. Fence removal and replacement in order for our digging equipment to access your backyard. Termite treatment by your termite company, HOA fees, gas connections if you're doing a gas heater or fire features, sealing your coping or decking. All these are real costs, and we've got budget numbers for most of them that can help you out. When we meet with you, we're happy to discuss them individually. Let's talk about how people choose to pay for their project. Quite a few of our customers finance at least a portion of their project rather than writing a check for all of it. Lion Financial is who most of our customers use, and there's a page on our site dedicated to financing with the details and a payment calculator. While monthly payments don't work for everyone, if the numbers in this video made you pause and you are otherwise ready, it's worth a conversation before you rule it out. We mentioned earlier that we might not be a good fit for everyone. If you're not willing or ready to spend at least $55,000 to $65,000, we're not your builder. And I'd rather tell you that now than waste your time. And if you're looking to save money, building even smaller isn't the answer. A small pool is already $55,000. Shrinking it further doesn't save what people hope because permitting, equipment, mobilization, and the crew costs roughly the same whether the pool is micro-sized or small. If that's where you are budget-wise, the honest advice is to wait a year and save, or to look at a different type of pool altogether. There are vinyl liner pool builders in this market who do that work well, and it's a legitimate way to get in the water for less. There's a right builder for every budget. Sometimes that's us, and sometimes it isn't. Last thing, as you're getting quotes from potential builders, you'll notice they vary in price, and here's a fair way to read them. Sometimes it's scope. The spa in the bid may be cheaper, it may have no heater or no automation system or a lower grade jet. The interior finish quality of the pool may be lower. The deck might be smaller. Read the two proposals line by line before you read the totals. Sometimes it's the way the project is managed and the service the company gives after the pool is complete. Both are invisible in a bid and expensive to provide. Here's what I mean by that. Building a pool involves 5 to 10 different trades showing up in your backyard over 3 or 4 months. And somebody has to be there making sure that each one gets it right. Most pool companies subcontract every phase of work and let the subs do the work unsupervised. We self-perform the structural work with our own crews, the forming, the digging, the steel, the plumbing, the grading, and we have somebody from our company physically on site for the phases where a mistake is permanent, like gunite day and plaster day. Our project managers also quality check our own crews the same way they quality check our subcontractors. That's overhead and it's in our price. That's the honest answer to why we usually aren't the cheapest bid. And it isn't just about the finished product. It's about what the 3 or 4 months getting there feels like, whether somebody answers the phone, whether you know what's happening in your backyard on any given week. The focus on making sure the backyard oasis comes out exactly as you imagined it is the breakwater difference. It's up to you to decide whether it's worth it. If you have more questions about pricing, there is a pool pricing estimator on our site. You can click through the options you want and it gives you a range built on real numbers. We'll update it about once a year, same as this video. And when you're ready to sit down with somebody, you can schedule a consultation from the Schedule Your Consultation page on our website. Thanks for watching. Whatever you decide, I hope you get the backyard you're dreaming of.